go status?
T-minus 30 seconds.
The morning mayhem.
TPA script running. Second stage LH2 securing started.
Ready for launch?
Ready to embark on a national security mission for the United States of America.
News Talk 92.
Range green.
Igniters armed. Rofi ignition.
KBU.
4, 3, and liftoff.
Standing by to go to the partial thrust.
The morning mayhem is on.
Partial thrust mode now in the port booster as expected.
The morning mayhem is pre-recorded and for entertainment purposes only.
I think it's time we blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
And let's jam here on this here Monday morning, everybody, as we are starting off a new week and starting off the week with a trying to recover here on a voice. Oh, yes. And, of course, over the weekend, we've made it through the weekend to get to this Monday. So what happened over the weekend? Well, we got a bondsman that sues the sheriff, alleging unfair suspension from work. We got 21 recruit graduates that became state troopers last week. Guess what? 2 of them are coming here to South Arkansas. We'll talk about Bismarck School District blasted at recent school board meeting. In an online meeting, we'll discuss Arkansas's electric vehicle infrastructure plans. And we'll also talk about a pest company that wants to release 100 cockroaches in your home for money. All that and more. News Talk 92 KBEU of South Arkansas. News Talk 92, KBEU, the news, the talk of South Arkansas. I have no idea what happened over the week or over the weekend, but somehow it seems like we've managed to tweak my voice a little bit to where it's, I don't mind the fact that it's dropped down a little bit. I like that. It's kind of got that radio sound to it, but I don't like the fact that it's a little hoarse, though. It almost sounds like I'm going through puberty again. So, not sure exactly what that's about. It was a long week, though, because we did the whole On the Road Again tour thing with Willie Nelson. Willie Nelson will be playing this Wednesday over there at the Murphy Arts District. And that doors open up there at 6, which I doubt very seriously since Morrison is dead. And concert time starts at 7:30. Did you catch that? Did you get that? Doors open at 6. I find that hard to believe. Morrison's dead. Anyone? No one? No one got that? Okay, never mind. So anyhow, concert time there's at 7:30. I've got my tickets, of course, and I've got my little crew that'll be going with me as well to go see Willie Nelson and family. But we were all over the place last week. So during your lunch hour, between 12 and 1, we started out over in Harmony Grove's Entertainment District, the Littlefield Valero, over there in Harmony Grove, right off of 79, and started out there and gave away tickets, gave away 2 passes right there for Willie Nelson and some other Jim Crack promotional items as well. There was some free Ranger swag in there. We were giving away a hunk of pizza and then, of course, fountain drinks and those slushies or ices as well. And then Tuesday, we moved from Harmony Grove and went on over to Cache in California, hung out there. And as each day went by, it was like we were getting more and more bombarded with people as the word was getting around that we were actually out during the 12 o'clock hour, and we were handing out these Willie Nelson tickets. They were a hot item, let me tell you. So then Tuesday we went there. Then Wednesday we went over to East Camden and hung out there. And of course, we got slammed from the area too. So I knew that would happen as soon as we got closer to the area, that they would come over for their lunch. And then from there, we went to Topper Hill and hung out there. That was a great turnout too, even though we weren't able to do hunks of pizza over there, because pretty much all the other Valeros have the hot box and everything. They've got a deli and they're capable of preparing fresh food and things like that, whereas the Topper Hill doesn't have that feature, but they do have prepackaged sandwiches. You can get the chicken salad sandwich. It's in the back. I'm telling you, man, chicken salad sandwich is pretty good. Oh yeah, get that. And It might seem kind of weird to do this on, especially during the summer, but what you do is go over there to Topper Hill. In fact, you can go to any of them and they'll have them there. But, if you're at Topper Hill and you can't get the fresh food stuff because, well, they don't have the ability to be able to cook fresh food, you can go in that the refrigerator towards the back where the slushy is. And you could get that chicken salad sandwich over there, and it's a nice portion there. And what you do is you get that, get you a thing of milk, and there's your lunch right there. I know, and you're probably thinking, milk? Why milk? I don't know. It's just something about the milk makes it all better to wash it down with. I don't know why, but it just does. And it's a good, and not a bad lunch too, and actually kind of filling. But anyhow, then Friday we went over to the Littlefield Express Valero over there off a Good Game. And man, that was it. Man, we got cleaned out as soon as we opened everything up because we were getting set up. And as each day went past by, as we're getting set up, we got people like standing around waiting, like, come on, guys, come on. I have to be back to work, guys. Come on. I was like, dude, it's not 12 o'clock yet. And not only that, man, we're not ready to go yet. So, I mean, Samadana. And so finally we opened it up. We had 2 sheriff deputies stop by. And, first spin of the day, both of them, man, got the Willie Nelson tickets back to back. And that cleaned us out for the Willie Nelson tickets there on a Friday. And that was our last pair too. So that worked out pretty good. Congratulations to those deputy sheriffs who got those Willie Nelson tickets and gonna get to go see Willie Nelson there on Wednesday. As for everybody else, of course, we still had Ranger tickets to give away, Ranger swag, and not only that, also the fountain drinks, the slushies, and a hunk of pizza as well. And here in a little bit, I'll be heading over there to refill my coffee because, they got that Southern Pecan over there, and it's just something about that Southern Pecan. I can't tell you, but I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I just know that I like to get over there, get my fixings on and everything, and bam, there you go. There's your coffee, and that's how I start my day every morning with my Littlefield coffee. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm only telling you that because I'm hoping that they'll notice that I said something about it, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, Doc Bryce, here's some free coffee," because they gave me free coffee last week. So I don't know. Maybe they'll continue on the trend. We'll see. Anyhow, other things going on over the weekend. Don't forget, man, over the weekend, it was Juneteenth, and man, what a celebration that was as well. At the same time, there was other things going on too that was scheduled for that weekend. So there was plenty to do for anyone and everyone. Starting out though, we went over to the Bearden Gazebo Festival and broadcasted live over there for 2 hours. And man, it was crazy too, because I leave Camden, right? And all of a sudden, hell breaks loose here in Camden. So I get people blowing me up on Messenger, sending me pictures and stuff that, man, I mean, the clouds, the sky has opened up. And it was like somebody just threw a bucket on Camden. And so people were sending me pictures of California flooded and everything, and then other pictures of where their yard is flooded and where some tree limbs are down and things like that. And here we are sitting in Bearden. Now, we noticed that we got a cloud cover over Bearden where we were at, because when we set up, man, the sun was just bearing down on us, man. It was horrible. It was terrible. And dying over there of heat exhaustion. But the cloud cover came over, and we're kind of like, hey, this is kind of nice because we have some cloud cover. So it really dropped the temperatures down. Well, didn't know what was happening is that's the cloud cover from Camden, because Camden was getting slammed with rain and stuff. So then, and that's why people were messaging me, was asking, well, what's it doing over there in Bearden? Because people wanted to come out to Bearden, but they were like, well, I'm not going to make the drive there to go to Bearden if it's like that there as it is here. And so we were telling everybody, it's like, everything's fine here. It's just, some cloud cover, some overcast, which is really nice because it dropped the temperature down. So everything's fine here. And so some people did make it out. They got outside the thunderstorm that was over there. And of course, Juneteenth was doing their thing too, because they were doing the parade downtown. And we talked to the guys over there from Juneteenth, and they were saying that they got a little bit of rain delay and everything. And from that though, Patrick came over and talked to us on Saturday about it to fill us in about what happened. And he was saying, Patrick was even saying the same thing. He said, yeah, we got a little bit of rain delay and everything. But other than that, though, it was quick, it was swift, and it came through, did its thing, and bam, we were on our way. So it didn't stop the fun and festivities for Friday night here in Camden, though. And then Saturday, we were out at Carnes Park as we were doing the Juneteenth thing there. And of course, man, that was a fun day in the park as well. I kept hearing that song, Saturday in the Park, from Chicago. Saturday here in the park. I kept thinking of that song there because that's what I kept hearing in my head because of all the stuff that was just going on. Granted, it wasn't the 4th of July, but all the stuff that was going on out there. There it is. Yeah, this one right here. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm sitting there having this playing in the back of my head while we're talking about all the things that are going on. And it was just a mixture of all kinds of things, man. We had vendors out there. We had local shops and stores out there. We had bounce houses. We had people and organizations and all kinds of stuff there in Saturday. See, now that's the good Chicago. That's the good Chicago I like. I don't like that Peter Cetera Chicago crap. It's for Peter Cetera. Now the ladies will argue with you about that. They'll be like, "Oh no, Peter Cetera was awesome with Chicago. Oh, it was just Chicago was so good." And I'm like, man, Chicago sucked. Peter Cetera killed the brass section, man. Listen to that. That's a brass. I don't know, man. It's just something about brass back in the days. I just loved any kind of music that had a brass section back then. But yeah, that's what it felt like. Saturday in the Park for Saturday. I better stop that before I get picked off for copyright infringement and stuff and get picked up by the algorithms. But anyhow, that's what was kind of going through the back of my head was Saturday here in the park. Yeah, because there was just all kinds of things going on out there. And then, of course, they did the car show on Sunday. I was going to go to the car show and stuff because I was thinking, it'd be fun to do Father's Day as well on Sunday. Take Mikey out there with me and, we go see car show stuff and everything. But instead, the boy had different plans. God, the boy always screws me out of plans like that. I sit there and come up with an idea. I was like, hey, man, let's do this, man, because it'd be really fun for you and me to have some father and son time, right? No. He didn't want to do car show stuff. What he wanted to do is he wanted to go to Whataburger for Father's Day. And I'm like, really? Are you buying? He's like, no, but you can. And then I just say Happy Father's Day. And I'm like, okay, fair enough. I mean, he's 13, he doesn't have a job or anything like that. He don't have his own money yet. So I was like, okay. So we did. We made the trek down there to Magnolia and got us some Whataburger. We got our Whataburger on for Father's Day. So for Father's Day, I went ahead and ordered large. Normally I get the medium, onion rings and Dr. Pepper milkshake. But I figure, it's Father's Day. And calories don't count on Father's Day. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the number 2. I'm going to get the double patty. And I'm going to go ahead and get a large onion ring and a large Dr. Pepper milkshake. Wash that all down with. So that worked out pretty good too. So I'm sure that the car show was a huge success out there. I wanted to go, but the child had different plans for Father's Day, which is fine. I mean, maybe he's not into cars like that, like I am, but, whatever. So it worked out all right. And we did all that. So hopefully everybody had a good weekend and did what they were doing for the weekend. And we're all back here today, here on this Monday, as we kick off a new week and everybody's checking in. Oh, by the way, don't forget, with it being Monday, don't let me forget to tell you that today, because June 19th was yesterday on a Sunday, when Biden took office, he did make June 19th a federal holiday. So this is year number 2 of this being a federal holiday. So, I'm kind of slow with things. It takes a while for me to catch on to things. What? 4th of July? Are we doing that this year? So anyhow, Juneteenth is now a federal holiday, which means all your government offices and things like that are closed today. So if you had any plans, city plans or anything like that, county plans, state plans, yeah, you're not doing anything with them, not till tomorrow. So that also means your banks are closed, your post office is closed, and your markets are closed, for observation of Juneteenth, which was, yesterday. So they're observing it today. So you got any, governmental stuff that you need to do? Yeah, you're not doing any of that stuff today. So, try again. Try again tomorrow. So I forgot to mention that as well. It's still new to me. And it's still new to a lot of people out there because we kind of threw that around a couple times. And that was the thing, too. We threw it around. Oh, yeah, Monday is a. And then we forget. And then somebody else would bring it back up and say, hey, Monday. Oh, yeah, it is, isn't it? Oh, my gosh. It's like having Alzheimer's there. We'll wait 5 minutes and then next thing, it's all new to you. I think I'm just getting up there in those years. That's what it is. And then there's so much else going. I don't think my brain can take any more filler. I think I've filled it up to the point to where new stuff comes in, old stuff gets knocked out. I mean, it's the only way to do it. So that it's like the old stuff, I guess whatever wasn't that important to me or who knows. Or maybe it was something else that was much bigger that overwrote something that was important to me. I was like, wait, how could I forget that was important to me? So I don't know. So anyhow, just keep in mind today, Monday, all your government offices will be closed. Your financial institutions will be closed as well in observance for Juneteenth day that was yesterday being observed today. We got to take this break. Be right back. News Talk 92 KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas. News Talk 92 KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas as we are encroaching the bottom of the six here. Currently 64, feels like 68. Going to see a high of 90 today. Yeah, it's going to get warm out there, and especially as we get in further into the week, it's going to get even warmer. We're going to be seeing those triple digits once again as we get into the week. And of course, we got that Willie Nelson concert coming up, which they're talking about by Wednesday already being in the triple digits. So I've got some people that are like, yeah, if it starts hitting the triple digits by Wednesday, forget that, man. I'm just not going. And I'm like, can I have your tickets then? I'm just saying, can I have your tickets if you don't mind? So anyhow, yeah, by Wednesday, man, you're going to see like high of 99. That's a new near record high on Wednesday. As for like tomorrow, 99, but that doesn't seem to be a new record high though. It just seems to be that way on Wednesday. But Thursday though, going to see a new record high of 102 as we hit those triple digits. And then 101 on Friday. And then as we get into the weekend, of course, 102 on Saturday and 100 for Sunday. So looks like we're starting to see those triple digits come up into our forecast. Not only that, though, I mean, you got to think about it, too. The past few years, we've had really hard winters. And with that, though, we've had really mild, soft summers. Not too bad. Maybe got up in the double digits there, 80s, 90s and stuff, but never really hit over or right at or over the triple digits. And this year, well, we had a very soft winter, and now it looks like we're going to have to pay for that for having a very hard summer. So as you are doing that, though, just keep in mind, man, you need to stay cool out there. You need to stay fresh. And also, with that, though, you want to make sure that you stay cool. There will be some cooling places that'll be out there that we will mention to you. So that way, as they become available and open, if you need them, we'll let you know where they are. And of course, some things to kind of keep in mind as it stays hot out there is one thing, man, take care of those pets out there. Don't let those pets sit out there inside closed cars. If they're outside, make sure that they've got a shady place that they can go hang out at, and make sure they got plenty of water out there too. I've had to take a bucket out there for Sandy, so that way she's got plenty of plenty of water on a warm day. And not only that though, you got to keep that water fresh too, because that's a pretty big bucket for her to be drinking from. And while she's outside, I want to make sure that she has plenty of water, but things get into the water, bugs and stuff like that. And then you got little weird floaties and everything else. And so keep that water fresh for them too. Just because you watered them doesn't mean it's like, oh, there you go, there's no water for you. Also, for yourself, though, make sure that take some cool showers or baths. Make sure that you're cooled off and your core temperature is not running hot, because you don't want to end up getting heat exhaustion, heat cramps, or heat stroke. Also, wear loose, lightweight, light colored clothing as well. And of course, if you're going to be cooking things like that, kind of do that later in the day. You don't want to be doing that during the middle of the day, because your oven actually adds heat to your house. So if you're outside, find some shade, wear a hat, protect your eyes and face and all that. Drink plenty of fluids, stay hydrated, and avoid any kind of high energy activities or workouts and things like that during the midday if possible. And if you're going to mow the yard, catch it early in the morning if you can, or catch it later in the evening after 5. You don't want to do it at 5 because it seems like 5 o'clock is the hottest point of the day as the sun is starting to go down. Don't forget about your family members and your neighbors out there who are seniors. Check on them. And if you can, go buy them a little box fan or something. Man, box fan costs you about $10. A little 20-inch box fan. So that way they got some air circulating around there as well. And so with all that in consideration, keep those things in mind. Stay cool out there. Stay safe. We don't want you getting a heat stroke. We don't want you getting heat exhaustion or getting any heat cramps or anything like that. We want you to stay safe out there. And, of course, as those cooling centers become open, we'll relay those because Judge McAdoo had told us that we had one going on, and that was for a limited time. But as the temperatures and humidity and everything start going over 90 degrees, they'll give us notice of when that is. So just keep listening, and we'll post it up on our Facebook page as well, that they are open and available for you if you need them. So if you need them, they are there for you, and we'll let you know when that is and when they are available and stuff. So there you go. Let's see other things going on out there over the week. Let's see. You had, hang on. Where'd he go? I had it there. There it is right there. Okay. Yeah. So, David Fielding, your Arkansas representative, Democrat out of Magnolia, met up with some model Arkansas representatives, Barrymore out of Camden, and some other student house members. And they just did some things out there, did a little photo op as well. So that happened there if you missed that. And then let's see, over the past week here, trying to keep up with everything else that we had going on here real quick. I don't know if I got enough time to deal with that or not. I'm trying to see if I do. I don't know if I do. Here, I'll do this real quick. Let me jump over here. We've got 21 new recruits that have graduated, and they are on their way out of 227 possibilities that came down to 21 that actually made it to graduation for state troopers. And they are now going to be assigned to their areas and where they're going and where they will be sent out. And 2 of those are actually coming here. Yeah, they'll be coming down here to South Arkansas. So if you see them, welcome them to the community. Unless you're getting pulled over or something like that, you might want to save that for another time. I'm just saying that right there, if you're getting pulled over, it may not be the right time to be going, oh, by the way, welcome to the community. So two of those will be coming here. And one of those is Shabby Morris, 25, will be assigned to Highway Patrol Division Troop F, Union County. He's a graduate of Ville Platte High School in Louisiana. Solomon Pfeiffer, 30, will be assigned to Highway Patrol duty in Troop G, Miller County, and he's a graduate of Crossett High School, University of Arkansas, Little Rock, and Mid-American Baptist Theological Seminary over there in Cordova, Tennessee. So they'll be making their way over here. Let me go ahead and take this break, and we'll get into some other stuff right here in News Talk 92, KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas. News Talk 92, KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas. Out of the bottom of the 6th there, 64 degrees outside. Feels like 66, high of 90 today. No rain in the forecast, though. At least not yet. Other than just need to take precautions out there because it will be getting more humid than anything. And with that, that's where you start getting into trouble. That's where you definitely start getting into the danger zone there when that humidity is so high like that. And the difference in temperature versus, when it's a dry heat versus a wet heat. Because when you got that wet heat like that, the air is just not moving. And your body cools off by evaporating sweat. So if there's more moisture in the air than usual, that sweat doesn't evaporate. And then what happens is you just, you get hot, sticky, sweaty, and you feel like you just walked out of the shower and haven't dried off. And that sweat doesn't evaporate. And that's what causes you to start to get a little bit warmer at your core. And that's where bad things happen. Heat stroke, heat exhaustion, and heat cramps as well. So be careful out there and stay hydrated this week. And if you need to, make sure you stay inside, cool areas. Put off doing anything extraneous till later or extra early, anything like that. Just watch out and take care of yourself and watch out for your neighbors too. A bondsman says that he sued Ouachita County Sheriff David Norwood, alleging that he officially violated his rights when he suspended his ability to write bonds. Norwood said that he took the action because he believed the bondsman had an inappropriate relationship with a client. Here we go with these words again. Inappropriate relationship. What does that mean? Well, let's see if we can get some insight here. Court documents show that Jay Hick of Bryce Bail Bonds, no relation to this Bryce, is suing Norwood over an incident in which the sheriff discontinued his ability to be able to work in Ouachita County. So Hick's suit argues that he wrote a bond for a woman and then he surrendered her to the county jail. That's where Norwood allegedly called Hicks a pervert and told him he's not allowed to write bonds in Ouachita County any longer. So that pretty much affects Hicks' livelihood, of course. I mean, if you can't write bonds and that's what you do for a living, that could actually cause some problems there, couldn't it? So the sheriff's actions, and he argues that Norwood doesn't have the legal authority to suspend him from writing bonds. You can't do that, man. You don't have authority over me, man. So, yeah. Well, anyhow, Norwood said that he suspended Hicks from writing bonds due to inappropriate conduct with a female prisoner, and that criminal charges may be filed in the case. So supposedly what happened was that Hicks went and bonded this person out of jail of the opposite sex, and then, according to Norwood, says it takes her to the casino, and then she comes back and alleges that she's been raped after he surrenders her back while in his shirt and underwear. So because of that, Norwood suspended him from bonding anybody out of the county, Ouachita County, which is what the Arkansas Professionals Bail Bondsman Licensing Board suggests. So that's what Norwood did. And then Hicks' lawsuit denies any sexual assault and claims that the woman in question has maintained that she never accused the plaintiff of rape. It also maintains that Hicks found her intoxicated already in public. So Norwood said, if there's anyone else that runs across the same thing, that, Sheriff's Department needs to know about it and understand getting out of jail, but, having to return, favors of the adult type is just not appropriate. It's not right. It's not right. So that's what he's saying there. And, Norwood also said, he could have thrown her back in jail at any time. That's same thing as what law enforcement would do. Same thing as a school teacher. That's my opinion. I don't know if that's the law, that they do have the authority over them because they have the right to throw them back in jail. So there's that. So that lawsuit's going on. There's another lawsuit going on as well between Sparkman and Harmony Grove, which that one there, if I can find that real quick, because I had that there lined up, ready to go. And I don't know. Sometimes my windows close and there's a lot of windows open. trying to keep track of everything that we're going on here. There it is. All right. Yeah, I got it right here. Yeah. So now you remember just a little while back, the deal is that Harmony Grove School Board, they had a meeting and they decided what they would do is they would reduce the size of Sparkman, and that they had a couple seniors that would graduate. And then from there, what students were left, they would knock that size down and then transferring a bunch of them over to Harmony Grove, because it just didn't make sense, to have the school open and everything. Basically, they're just cutting the school down in size and then starting to bring everybody over to I'm sorry. Wait a minute. I'm on the wrong one here. This one I wanted to talk about because it had to do with Robert's Rules. I forgot about this one. This one was Bismarck Public School Board, and they had their meeting last week on June 13th. And plenty of fireworks, too, to go with that. This one all started with a former Bismarck high school hockey coach and concerned citizen Brad Miller speaking about his concerns over the board's conduct over the last year. They believe the independent third party needs to come in, evaluate the superintendent's report, and review the conduct of the board. He doesn't think they're prevailing truthful information to the public, though. This was the reason why I wanted to get on this one was because the deal with Phil, y'all, and with the board and everything with that. And then, of course, we had some, some questioning and stuff about how Smackover conducts their meetings and stuff, and some people were telling me that they felt that Smackover was doing a lot of executive sessions of private meetings and stuff like that. And that was the alleged thing. And then I'm like, okay. So I looked into it and I'm like, and I still haven't come up with my verdict yet. Not yet, because we're still looking into that. So anyhow, citizens came forward as per Robert's Rule of Order. So if you ever wanted to know about how these meetings are supposed to be conducted and everything, best thing to do is go to Robert's Rule of Order. And if you look at that, then that way you can take and see how to behave yourself in a meeting, because this is kind of neat. A lot of people don't know this, and I've seen this done in the House, and I've also seen this done in the Senate as well when I'm watching our politicians do their thing. And they're following the Robert's Rule of Order, but one of the things that they do is they'll yield their time, or they'll concede their time, or they'll give their time up to someone else. So usually is what happens, and I've seen this happen here too locally. This happened during the debate of the entertainment district, and we had people come in who were against it, and they knew exactly what they were doing. And I'm watching this, and I'm like, I tell you what, look at these here little, they know exactly what they're doing. Geez, some of them. So, what was going on here is that one speaker would come up and they would concede their time for another speaker on their behalf. So this guy, Mr. Miller, then proceeded to come back up to the podium and continued speaking. It's brilliant. The Dog and Pony Show continued for several more citizens who all gave their time to Mr. Miller. So, for example, if you've never conducted or went to any of these meetings like city council or anything, usually they have a moment, where it's audience participation. Quorum Court has it. Your school boards have it. And they can take that away if they want to not entertain that because, depending on the topic of the meeting, it could be hot and heavy and things like that. And they just don't want to mess with it. So they may suspend those rules. And you may not be able to get to do that. Now, here's a little thing you probably didn't know, though, is that you get 3 minutes, 5 minutes. It just depends on the board and what time they allow you to be able to speak. Usually it's about 5, but, city council actually voted a resolution to knock it down from 5 to 3. So you get 3 minutes. Now, once that 3 minutes is up, you're done. That's it. You're done. For the whole meeting, you're done. So you need to prepare your speech and everything and get it, have some order to it and get it locked down so that way you've got your message out and you know everything that you're going to say. You're going to hit all your points and you got to get it done under 3 minutes. But here's a little trick though. Other people can sign up to be part of the audience participation, but they don't have to use their time. They can actually concede their time to someone else. Like in this case, what they did with Mr. Roberts. So Mr. Roberts was up there speaking. He only gets 4 minutes to be able to talk, but I guess he wanted to go longer than 4 minutes. And that's when Mr. Miller was asked if he could get 12 minutes. And that drew some laugh from the crowd and the board as well. And the answer was no, you get 4. However, it just so happened that there is a loophole around that rule. And so the next few citizens that came forward said, as per Robert's Rule of Order, I concede my time to speak for another speaker on their behalf. And then just like that, kaboom! Mr. Miller then proceeded to come back up to the podium and continued speaking. See, these are things that, this is how you go armed to a meeting. You got to learn how to play by the rules. So he went on, and lack of transparency of the board was his concern. He requested information and emails from the Bismarck School Board, and the real struggle, what a struggle it was to get that. And over the last 4 years, the budget has increased by 22%, and the people's property taxes increased by 21%, according to Miller. And Miller was not only the citizen to speak up concerning the conduct of the board, but several scathing speakers took time to stand also. School board is expected to address the accusations at the next school board meeting. So They've got the video posted there on Facebook for the Bismarck School Board meeting. And so, and the reason why I bring this up too is that it was brought to my attention that there was some shady stuff going on over. Now, this is all alleged, okay? There's some shady stuff going on over at Smackover, and this all had to primarily do with Phil, y'all. And so when it comes to executive session and things like that, anytime it has to do with administration, or if it has to do with employee or something like that, it's not an open public meeting. It's typically done in executive session and dealt with, and then they'll come back and they'll give the answer of what they've decided to do and the outcome and everything else. Now, if it's something big where it's the person who is being accused of whatever can decide to have it as an open meeting, which like they did with Miss Filial, with Tammy Filial, and that way the public, media, everybody can be present to hear how this plays out. And that's exactly how that happened there. Now, when it comes to, go look it up. You can find it very easily. It's called, the Roberts Rule of, wait a minute. What was I calling it? The Roberts Rule of Order. I had to think about it for that. No, it's not talking. Roberts Rule of Talking? No, it wasn't talking. It wasn't meetings. No. Oh, order. Roberts Rule of Order. And it's primarily what everybody follows. And those are the rules when it comes to these meetings and stuff. So there was a lot of complaints about transparency and stuff with Smackover. And some of the parents were wanting to talk and weren't able to talk. There was all kinds of stuff going on there as well. But yeah, this one here as well, Bismarck School District, is kind of interesting because somebody got smart. They read the rules and they said, hey, you know what? Under the Roberts Rules of Order, we actually have the ability to be able to do this. And so they made their plans and everything before the meeting that was of another meeting. And they used the system against the board, and the board's like, oh, you son of a, you can't believe y'all. And there's nothing they can do. That's just it. You're following the rules. There's nothing they can do about it. So, you know, if the guy's like, hey, I want 12 minutes. No, you get 4. Watch this. Hold my beer. And then you get 4 minutes. Well, all you need is 3 other people or 2 other people, you and 2 other people, to concede their time. Well, you don't concede your time. You keep your time. But you just need the 2 other people, because you need, 3 times 4 is 12. So you need 12 minutes. So 3 times 4 is 12. So you have your 4 minutes. And then the other 2 people have their 4 minutes. So they concede their time. Boom. You got yourself 12 minutes. And the board's like, oh, you sneaky. And they can't really do anything about it either, because it's Robert's Rule of Order. So anyhow, that one caught my interest. But yeah, I definitely want to check into that and see when their next school board meeting is, and see how that one plays out as well. The one I was looking for, though, and I'm about to run out of time here. I got a minute and a half left. The one I was looking for was the school board meeting the lawsuit between Harmony Grove and Smackover, because Smackover smacked, get it? Harmony Grove with a lawsuit saying, hey, man, like, you can't do that. Actually, it was the citizens who did that and decided that they're not just going to lay there and take it, man. Harmony Grove came in and I guess, decided to rough everybody up and do what they wanted to do. And so the citizens are like, hey, you can't do that. So we're going to, we're going to do stuff and things. And if I could just find that story where I had it, and I don't know what I did with it, but let's see, that's a lot of the stuff is carried over from last week. Anyhow, I'll find it. Because I'm about to run out of time on this one here. By the time I do find it, then we won't have time to talk about it. So I'll hang it over. I'll look it up during the break. It's in there and we'll find it. That's what we'll do. All right. So I do need to take this break, and we'll get into that and put some closure here on this 6 o'clock hour, making our way to the 7 o'clock hour. I don't think we have anybody on the schedule for the round table, and I'm not sure what we're doing for the round table, but we'll figure that out. All right. All that and more. News Talk 92 KBEU. News Talk 92 KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas, coming up on the top of the hour here shortly. We'll be hitting at 7 o'clock along with your top of the hour news, local news, and national news as well. Don't forget about the podcast, though. Podcast available for you, and you can always go up there, check it out on the Facebook pages, download it, check it out, like it. Please like it, so that way it changes the algorithm, so that way when people are looking, maybe people aren't looking specifically for us or, whatever, but that way it kind of bumps us up in the algorithm there. So that way we kind of show up more towards the front than, like that not-so-selling book in the back of the bookstore, you know what I mean? All the top sellers are up front. We'd at least like to be in the middle of the bookstore. At least categorized or something like that. You know what I mean? But anyhow, please check that out. And you can find that at Doc Bryce Productions LLC. You can find that on Facebook at Radio Works. And you can also find that on your favorite platforms like Spotify, iHeart, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts as well. Oh, and don't forget about Spreaker. That's speaker with an R, Spreaker.com. You can find it there as well. If you're using an app, just find that RSS feed and load that into your podcast app. And from there, you'll never have to worry about it again because all new episodes will be downloaded for you automatically. All right. So during the break, I was looking it up and I found it. It was a deal about Harmony Grove when they decided back in April when they voted, the school board voted 5-2 to move 40 Sparkman High School students in grades 7 through 12 over to Harmony Grove High School. So that's when Dr. Snow said the numbers were just too low. And for a Sparkman High school campus, it would just make it unsustainable. So anyhow, there was a lawsuit filed in Ouachita County District Court that argues that the closure would force some students to have to travel up to 2 hours each way to school and place them in undue burden place an undue burden on them. It also states that since Sparkman High School is a local education agency offering grades K through 12, state code prohibits closing part of the Sparkman school without either a unanimous vote of the school board or an order from the State Board of Education approving such an action. So the Harmony School Grove District has not satisfied either legal requirement, the lawsuit states, and the law clearly prohibits Harmony Grove School District eliminating 7 through 12 grade education in Sparkman. So far, though, the Harmony Grove School District has yet not answered the lawsuit. As far as we know, that was filed back in June 7th of this year, but all this started taking place back in April. The reason why I bring this up too, once again, be familiar with the Robert's Rule of Order. And you can Google that and you can find out how that works and everything. So that way, when something comes up, see, this would have been great too if people knew how to use this during when we had the whole mask debate and everything. And people were, those who were allowed to be able to have audience participation were cut short, because you only got 3 or 5 minutes, something like that. And then you had to get all your stuff in within that allotted amount of time. Maybe not understanding that they could have other people say, hey, you know what? Go ahead and sign. Well, I'm not going to speak, man. And you'd be like, you don't have to speak. All you have to do is sign that you want to participate in the audience participation. And then what you'll do is you'll just concede your time to me. So you can work all this out prior to the meeting even taking place. So you find your guys that that don't want to speak, or maybe they'd like to put in their 2 cents, but, they're just not comfortable with public speaking. And you can find somebody who would be more than happy to sign up. And all they got to do is show up and go, I concede my time to that guy. And then, you roll over and then the next person comes up and they're like, I also would like to concede my time to that guy. And then that way, see, you got somebody who knows what they're doing, knows what they're talking about, someone who can successfully address the board and everything. Poof, there you go. So during that school board meeting, I don't know how that one took place other than the fact that it was 5-2 to get 40 Sparkman High School students between grades 7 and 12 to move over. The other thing is Dr. Snow at the time said that no kindergartners have yet even enrolled. So it looks like they may have empty classes for 2023. Who knows? But I guess we'll see how that plays out there as well. I'm just saying, when it comes to these meetings and stuff, you've got a right to participate and go there and definitely be involved. But at the same time, it's also very helpful if you know the rules and everything and how this stuff plays out and what it means and how you can use those rules to your advantage to be able to get your point across and get your message across and everything else. There's ways to do everything, as there always is. Let's see some other things we got going on here as well as I'm sitting there trying to dig through my notes because I don't know what page I'm on anymore. Hey, get this though. Let's see. Where's my thing at? Because I already had it loaded and everything ready to go. There we go. Yeah, we're going to take it to the streets. There we go. But it's not just us who's taking it to the streets. It's the turtles, and they're taking it to the street. So don't box them in, all right? The Game and Fish Commission says turtles are on the move all over Arkansas, and they can be found along side roads in rural and suburban areas thanks to a wet, relatively cool spring that created excellent foraging areas in ditches and grassy areas beside the hustle of daily life of those highways. So those turtles out there are on the street, and you've probably seen them as well. They're terrible when it comes to crossing the street because you don't want to run over them, so you go over them, and that freaks them out, and they duck their heads in and kind of pull back into their shell, and they just stay out there in the middle of the street. Some of you I've seen actually pull over and go ahead and pick them up and push them on the other side of the street. So many of these turtles are finishing up their annual breeding, egg-laying cycles, and they're taking it to the street, which also puts them on the move. So the three-toed box turtles is one of the most common turtles motorists will encounter in the natural state. Two species of box turtles occur in the state, the three-toed and the ornate, the latter, of which is protected and is illegal to possess or collect. Box turtles get their name from their hinged plastron lower shell. Many turtles can retract into their shells, but box turtles can lift their lower shell to completely seal out any would-be attackers. You've probably seen them, forming a really snug box. So they've got the plate on their bottom, on their backside, and in their chest where their head is, and they can just close it all up. And you're like, whoa, man, like, is anybody home, dude? Hello, is Dave there? So yeah, they're taking it to the streets, as you could encounter these box turtles. Don't disturb them. Just kind of let them do the things, but it is very tempting to help them get across the street as well. So there you go. Watch out for them. And don't run over them. The Arkansas Game and Fish Commission says three-toed box turtles often will stay within the same 10 to 25 acre range for their entire life and have a strong homing instinct. So if they are moved outside of this area, they may spend the rest of their lives wandering, trying to reorient themselves, especially if turtles are already present in the area where they were placed. So one recent study moved a number of box turtles to a new location and tracked their movements, and only 47% of those established a home range in the area. The rest wandered away or died. So these guys can be anywhere from 5 to 10 years old, and they become hang on here a second. I can't hang on. I got to switch screens here because I need that sounder right there and that sounder. Where's my thing at? Come on. Where's my thing at? I need it. I need it now. Now I need it because it's not there. Oh, there we go. That's what I'm looking. So, yeah, the turtles relatively live a long time to reach their maturity. And so the box turtles can take between 5 to 10 years to become mature, depending on their sex and conditions where they live. They can multiply, or they can have multiple clutches of 2 to 6 eggs per year, and the nest and young are susceptible to raccoons, skunks, foxes, snakes, and many other small predators. So, they kind of got to work at it. They got to make it happen there for them. So be on the lookout for them as they are moving across the street and everything and doing their thing. So there you go. All right. Well, we got to go and wrap this thing up, get this thing going here into the 7 o'clock hour right here in News Talk 92, KBEU, the News and Talk of South Arkansas. News Talk 92, KBEU, the News and Talk of South Arkansas. Welcome to the 7 o'clock hour. Yay! Yeah, you made it here on this Monday. And it's going to be a fun week at that. You betcha, baby. It's going to be triple digits out there as we get further into the week. No chance of rain out there, but definitely a chance of high humidity as well. So you need to take care of yourself out there while you're doing anything outside. Stay hydrated. Yeah. Yeah. News Talk 92, KBEU, the News and Talk of South Arkansas. So, man, we have been seeing in the news some deals, where they're talking about some things have happened and, inappropriate behavior. And what exactly does that mean by inappropriate behavior? And what are we doing with this and that and everything else? And so we had the one with Camden Police Department where it said a former police officer, which he never was even an officer, sexual assault of a minor. Then I see this other one that pops up. It says Shannon Hills police officer arrested in Little Rock, expected to face theft and other charges. Basically, will face a felony theft charge along with assault, driving while intoxicated, and refusal to submit it to a chemical test. And the arresting officer says that he was working off duty at a business there off of Jesse Road about 5 a.m. on a Saturday and saw a disturbance in the parking lot, checked it out and everything. Witnesses told the arresting officer that this guy, 30-year-old Joe Padilla, was had just stolen a vehicle. So the arrest report says that Officer Padilla nearly ran over a pedestrian while trying to leave the location. So allegedly, Padilla refused to provide any kind of urine sample or anything like that when it came to dealing with drug testing and stuff after being taken in custody. No bond listed or anything like that on his booking information. And all this here happened over there in Shannon Hills, or actually Little Rock. I'm sorry. It happened in Little Rock, but he's from Shannon Hills. So now I'm questioning, because I've seen what our media could do, is that, was he an actual officer, or was he, in the process of becoming an officer and what have you? So I'm not sure about that. So then with that, I figured, you know what? Well, let's have some fun with this. We can have fun with this. This would be fun. And so with that, just to protect myself, because, I know how to do that too. That I do. And so, yeah, let's go ahead and start some up here, because this is a good one. I saw this pop up on somebody's Facebook page, and I thought, oh, now this is a headline to run with. You see the pictures, you see them hanging out and everything. Everybody's smiling. They're in close contact. There's body contact, arms around each other and everything. And this looks like an endorsement to me. So let's go ahead and kick it off. We'll start this rumor about who's endorsing who.
Look at all these rumors surrounding me every day. I just need some time to get away from all these rumors. Can't take it no more. My best friend said there's one I never meet, a girl next door.
Now, granted, these other headlines were just worded a certain way to get a reaction out of you, like inappropriate behavior with a student. What exactly does that mean? Because the first thing I thought of was there was some kind of physical or sexual contact between a student and a teacher. That was the first thing I thought of. I'm sure you probably did too. And that's probably why they had the protests and everything out there. Then you hear on the Camden police officer arrested for, or actually charges filed against the officer for misconduct with a minor, basically sexual assault to a minor. Then you got the Shannon's Hill police officer arrested in Little Rock for theft and everything else. But, after we find out that the Camden police officer that's supposed to be an officer is not an officer, come to find out it's actually a rookie, a cadet, somebody who hadn't even become a certified officer yet. But run with the headline, and what do you get? You think that now we're hiring officers. We got officers out there on the street, certified officers who get to carry a gun and badge and patrol on their own, unsupervised, are out there doing things that they shouldn't be doing to small children. That's the image that you get. Well, here's something that I saw that I thought that would be a great headline. We can spin it. So if you go up on Mayor Julian Lott's Facebook page, you'll see a picture posted June 18th at 10:12 a.m. It says, Enforcer Wooten and I had the privilege of hanging out with past AML president and former Camden Mayor Chris Claybaker. Fun times. You look at the picture here, and you can see Claybaker there in the middle, Lott there on your left, and Wooten on your right, and Claybaker there in the middle, and his arms are around both. Everybody's got a big grin on their face. Looks like everybody's being all chummy chum. Best of friends, good times, everybody. Which to me, I would say, former Camden Mayor Chris Claybaker endorses for current Mayor Julian Lott. There you go. See? See, we could do it too. Look at that. Isn't that pretty neat? That's the impression I got. I'm seeing the picture. So yeah, there you go. Former Camden Mayor Chris Claybaker endorses re-election for Mayor Julian Lott. That's the headline we can run with. Well, like I said, you could take just about anything and spin it to however you want. But see, when I say it like that, then look, I don't, all I gotta do is show you the pictures there. They're hanging out. They're chums and everything. Everybody's smiling. That looks like an endorsement to me. And that's just my opinion, but I can spin the headline to say it just exactly how I need it to say. So there you go. All right, so that's just going to go ahead and wrap it up there with that. We don't have to go any further into, but see what I mean? It's not that hard to spin it around. In fact, you know what? I think I'll use that as a tag or a headline in the podcast. So that way it'll entice people to want to read it. They'll see it, but then they'll want to listen to it. Wait a minute. What? Claybaker endorses Mayor. Well, I've got to hear this. See? And now look, I got people talking. See how that works? It's pretty neat. It's fun to be the media. Well, I'm untouchable. I did my disclaimer. I played my disclaimer. See, I had my disclaimer play. See, we built it up and everything. So, and then we made it perfectly clear that this was a spoof, that it's a parody, that it's rumor. Well, we're classifying it as rumor, but it's actually a parody. Satire. That would be more appropriate. Satire. It's political satire. So we ran with the headline. We've done our damage. Now we can go ahead and go home and spend time with our family. And I'm completely untouchable because we identified it as...
Look at all these rumors surrounding me every day. I just need some time to get away from all these rumors. I can't take it no more. My best friend said there's one I never meet in the girl next door.
Okay, so there we go. So you get the point, right? Because, I mean, I see this on social media all the time about Fox News. CNN. Fox News is fake news. Well, CNN is no different because CNN's doing the exact same thing as Fox News. Fox News doing the exact same thing as CNN News. You realize CNN came out back in the late 80s, and they were the only cable news network on cable, period. And they were originally doing just 24-hour news headlines. And that's when news was news. But then they started doing these spinoffs where they were doing these little extra, talking head shows and stuff like that. Fox saw that and they're like, hey, we need something to counter that. So they did the same thing. It's just, it's the same headline, but all you're doing is you're taking a headline or the news and spinning it into the direction or the narrative that you want to fit for your audience, for your demo. That's all it is. And, now that we've seen where we take headlines and words have meaning, and how you put those words together means everything. Like when you say Sandy Beach is closed over E. coli contamination. Well, now everybody's in panic mode. I could use that as a headline too in the podcast. So that way, it'll drive people to the podcast. I want people to listen to the podcast. So the paper wants people to read the paper. You got to sell those papers. So how do? You create headlines that'll make people want to read more into the headline. Well, Sandy Beach is closed over E. coli contamination, by the way, and that is no rumor. But now you're probably wondering, wait, what? And it's not the Sandy Beach that you think it is. Actually, it's Cleburne County, Sandy Beach over there in, what town are they in? I cannot tell you what county. They're over there in Cleburne County. Oh, Heber Springs. They're over in Heber Springs over there in Cleburne County. And so, Sandy Beach has been closed temporarily over contamination of E. coli. See, so if I just let you run with that Sandy Beach closed over E. coli contamination, you would think it's our Sandy Beach, but you got to read a little bit further. I'm telling you, man, headlines are everything. So anyhow, the health department made notice that, they said that the water tested last Monday and the results showed that it tested positive for E. coli. So, they closed it. And to open back up, the water must have 2 consecutive negative tests to be able to reopen the park. So while you're rumoring with each other right now, did you hear about Sandy Beach is closed because of contamination of E. coli? Oh my gosh! Remember, that's just the one in Heber Springs, not Camden. I'm telling you, man, it's amazing what headlines can do. And look, I just did one there. Claybaker endorses Mayor Lott, all because of a picture. So I was able to do that, but I also put my disclaimer in there. So don't come back at me sitting there saying, I don't want Claybaker's people going, I did not say that. And it's not what I did. I am not endorsing anybody. And that's fine. But, it's satire. So we've established that. We made that known. And so deal with it. We've done our own headline spin. Oh, speaking of E. coli, Beaver Lake. It's closed too. And that's over there in Benton County, Arkansas. So if you plan on going up there, because you think, you're not going to be doing any of that either, because it also has high levels of E. coli. And so everything that affects is the dam site, lake campground, and a dam lake day use area, the dam creek, the dam bridge, and if you take that out of context, that might sound wrong. if you end the N to every one of those damn words. No, I'm saying D-A-M, the damn. I'm just saying if you take it out of context, it could be taken the wrong way. So yeah, all those sites are closed. Lost Bridge, Prairie Creek, War Eagle, Hickory Creek, Horseshoe Bend, Dayuse, Lost Bridge South. So the swim areas will reopen after the USACE receives following of tests that shows that the water is safe and water levels have receded enough to allow for cleaning of debris, because there's some branches and stuff out there that could also cause you to capsize if you're out there on a boat as well. And of course, it needs to test negative for E. coli, 2 consecutive negative tests for E. coli to be able to reopen those areas up as well. That's the other thing too. If you're out on the river or anything like that, we've had these rains come through. The river is, last time we checked, it was around 22 feet. And there is stuff, just out there in the water, man, that you can hit with your boat that could cause you to capsize. There was another one over the weekend as well. Oh, by the way, Buffalo National River celebrates 50 years that it became a national park here in Arkansas. Just want to mention that. I mean, we're talking about water anyways, right? Over the weekend, crews responded to another drowning, but it wasn't our drowning. It was somebody else's drowning. And unfortunately, a drowning is just bad all the way around. Doesn't matter where it happened or how it happened. The point here is wear those life vests. Cannot stress that enough, because you just never know when you're going to hit something out there. I got to get this done here real quick, though. The victim is believed to be a Hispanic male between the ages of 25 to 35. So crews responded on the scene of a drowning at Prairie Creek Marina on Beaver Lake Saturday. Remember, we just said Beaver Lake's supposed to be closed due to high E. coli. According to the Benton County Sheriff's Office, the call came at around 9:30 p.m. The victim was believed to be Hispanic male between 25 and 35. And they said that they believe that the victim may have been having a medical episode and fell off the boat. Remember, everybody goes, oh, I'm a good swimmer. I can swim good. But you don't know when you're going to get thrown off the boat because you hit something in the water. In this case, here's another one we didn't even think about. You don't know when you're going to have a medical episode and just fall out of the boat. And if you have a life preserver on, that might greatly increase your chances of survival versus just going kerplunk and then, glub glub and nobody knows where the hell you are. So wear those life vests. I cannot stress that enough. When you go out on the lake, wear the damn life vest. Quit trying to be cool and everything. Nobody cares, because if you're dead, that's when people care. Nobody cares if you're wearing the life vest or not. And nobody cares if you look goofy wearing the life vest. Nobody cares. But when you're dead, everybody cares. So wear the damn life vest, put it on, wear it, and quit falling out of the boat and drowning in the river. That's all I'm saying. Wear the life vest. Can't stress that enough. Wear the life vest. Got to take a break. Roundtable up next. News Talk 92, KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas.